Good morning. It's Saturday, May 27th, and this morning I want to talk about an evil that continues to go on in the United States and in the rest of the world. And I want to tell you about what Joe Biden did about that. And I'm talking about anti-Semitism. Now, the White House has laid out the first ever national strategy to combat anti-Semitism. And it's about time we had a national strategy to combat anti-Semitism. But before I tell you that, I want to tell you something that's very interesting. When I was a kid growing up in the Bronx, and I ended up going to high school at Christopher Columbus High School in the Pelham Parkway section of the Bronx, which is a very Jewish neighborhood. And students who lived on City Island, which is a little region, a pretty little region in the Bronx, but it's loaded with anti-Semites. And during my 3 years at Christopher Columbus High School, I encountered anti-Semitism several different times from the students who were growing up in City Island. And now, I'm trying to figure out when. This is about 60, it's around 70 years ago since I attended Christopher Columbus High School. And anti-Semitism is still going on in City Island. In City Island, businesses are being attacked. 2 City Island restaurants are targeted by racist flyers that perpetrate racism and anti-Semitism. The Seafood Kings, which is a black-owned business, and Archie's Tap and Table, a Jewish-owned business, received racist flyers in the same week. So here we are, 70 years later, and anti-Semitism is still raging in that beautiful little section of the Bronx called City Island. So in any event, getting back to what Joe Biden did, he laid out an ambitious and U.S. government-led effort to fight anti-Semitism for the first time in American history. And he said, in the past several years, hate has been given too much oxygen, and it's fueled a rapid rise in anti-Semitism. It's simply wrong. It's not only immoral, it's unacceptable, and it's on all of us to stop it. Those were Biden's words. It's about time somebody took a direct look at this situation, because it's been going on forever. It's blatant discrimination. It's in the same category as racism. It's in the same category as the anti-gender people. Anybody who hates anybody for the reasons that are natural, the color of your skin, your sexual preference, your religion, all of those things are sacred. They should not be looked upon in any way, shape, or form as an indication of goodness or badness. They should not be used in any way to promote hate. Now, I know in many cases, people just have to have somebody or something that they consider less important than they are. They have to be above some other group for some reason or other. In any event, Biden laid out a 4-pronged strategy, starting with an effort to increase the awareness and understanding of anti-Semitism and Jewish American heritage. And in this study that they did, they found that 85% of Americans believe at least one anti-Semitic trope. And what's even more distressing is that a study found that more than 3 in 5 American millennials and Generation Z didn't know that 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. And that is simply unacceptable. And don't tell me that this information has been hidden. Right now, with all of the book banning and everything, this information is trying to be hidden, but it's been out there. It shows up periodically every time there's a Jewish holiday or something. This information is out there in writing somewhere. So do we have a generation that is incapable of understanding history? Have they not studied what happened in World War II? Probably not. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum is going to launch the first ever U.S.-based Holocaust Education Research Center and is calling for increased school-based education about anti-Semitism. So it's come to the front. It's come to the top of the list, anti-Semitism, and it's about time we face up to it. And we face up to all the other discriminatory things that have gone on in this country for a long time, way too long. So part of the plan to fight anti-Semitism includes 10 separate calls to tech companies to establish a zero-tolerance policy for hate speech on their platforms, and to ensure that their algorithms do not pass along hate speech and extreme content to users, and to listen more closely to Jewish groups to better understand how anti-Semitism manifests itself on their platform. So they're warning Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and their compatriots that this has to stop. This has to stop being promoted on their platforms. Now, I don't know if there'll be a penalty if they don't stop this stuff, because that's not mentioned in this article. But just the mere fact that somebody has finally taken a look and said, this has to stop. And we all know it's been going on for a long, long time. And Biden called on Congress to remove the special immunity for online platforms and to impose stronger transparency requirements in order to ensure that tech companies are removing content that violates their terms of service. And more broadly, they must pay attention to countering anti-Semitism in all sectors of American society. And Biden went on to say that we need to build cross-community solidarity. We need to create a kinship between the Jews, the Muslims, the Christians, the Sikh, and any other communities that are not white, Christian, etc. That's my term, not Biden's. Biden said this is a historic step forward, and I'm hoping I send a clear and forceful message in America. Evil will not win. Hate will not prevail. And I think that's a great message, and I'm going to leave that with you. Hate will not prevail. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.